Hi, this is Great Grandma Marie again. Um, Today I am going to talk as Mama Marie. This is a special day that's dedicated to my son Todd, who has died, and I want to talk about him because it's his birthday. He was born 9 months after my birthday, date wise, that is. I was born January 30th, he was born September 30th, and he was 56 years old when he was killed on the highway. At any rate, today is a happy day for me because I remember him with such love and all of the laughs that he left with me. He was extraordinary, as my other two sons are. And over the years, I've said, I wish every mother could have sons like mine. They have filled my life. I'm going to show you this because it's a sonogram of Todd. So this was a long, long time ago, way back in 1953. And I wanted to show it so that Nanny of Nanny and the Moose could see that yes, they were doing sonograms, and I am 93 where she is 80 something. So yes, they were doing sonograms way back then. So that was Todd then, okay? And this was Todd just before he died. Such a happy kid. So I'm going to show you some pictures of him. They bring smiles to my face. We had so much fun over the years. And of course, back then, everybody had to have a picture taken on a pony. That was the thing to do. Yeah, on a pony. Can you remember that way, way back in the 1940s, the 30s? So this was in the 50s. And there he is. He's, I think, maybe just a day or two old. No, maybe a week old, because we had to stay in the hospital for almost a week when we had babies way back then. And this is Todd when he was 4 months old. And this is Todd again when he was 1 year old. He was a big boy. Yeah, big boy. And he was capable of doing so much as a child. This is Todd when he was 2 years old. And Nanny of Nanny and the Moose is a seamstress, and I know that she sews a lot. Well, I sewed a lot as well. And that's an outfit that I made for him when he was 2 years old. Isn't that the cutest? The hat and all. Yeah. The little man. There he is, 12 years old, when he was in the 8th grade. He was such a happy kid. He was. He was happy till the day he died. And here he is, 8th grade graduation from the Assumption School in Bellingham, Mass. He went on to study and applied for the National Merit Scholarship final exams, and he was a National Merit Scholarship finalist, and went on to study at Mount St. Charles Academy in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Yeah, he was a star pupil. He skipped a grade when, I don't know how old he was, but regardless, I can remember when I was teaching in the 4th grade at the Assumption School, he was in the third, no, I guess I was teaching the 4th grade. He was probably in the 5th grade, and I can remember his coming into my classroom and helping me teach the children. I remember at the time also that I had 52 students in my class. Can you imagine having 52 students? But it was a parochial Catholic school, very, very strict, and you were able to maintain discipline and order with that number of children because they obeyed. They didn't have free reign. And I'm not saying it was a bad thing or a good thing compared to what children are going through now. But those were the days, yeah. I want you to read this if you can. And that's a picture of me with Todd. And he was 16 years old at the time. And he had papers filed so that he could run for public office. And it went all the way to the state, and it was decided locally by a lawyer who had never heard of a child or a young man at 16 running for public office. They ruled him off the ballot. So it finally came to court where they would put him on the ballot, but if he ran and won, he wouldn't be able to serve. Go figure, I can't. But regardless, he was a smart kid from day one. Never knew what was going to come out of his mouth. He was a happy kid. He loved golfing. He loved fishing. He loved jazz. Oh my gosh, did he love jazz. He loved the outdoors. He loved cooking. He just loved life. And when he would write to me, and this was when he was living in Illinois, and I'm here in Florida, so he corresponded with me through a lot of cards for birthdays, Christmas, Mother's Day. Every once in a while, he'd come down to visit me, or I would go up to their place and visit them. But he would send me cards, and I never knew what he was going to say or what kind of a card it would be. He would write to me and insert some gems in French, at times in Italian, at other times in Chinese, and he was just whatever. Anyway, I keep saying whatever because I'm at a loss for words to continue. And there's one card that I'm looking at now when he closed with, this was a Christmas card that he had sent me, and he closes with, remember when we went to Grandma's one Sunday and had to leave so we could get to the TV station in Providence, Rhode Island in time for the high school tournament. Avec l'amour, Todd. So there he is signing off in French. But yeah, there was a Sunday when we drove from Bellingham to Everett, Mass. To visit Grandma, and we had to leave early, just Todd and I. I left the other children with Grandma while I took Todd to Providence. He was going to compete in a high school tournament, and you'd have to look it up so that I don't have the time to explain it all, but it was just a real cool thing. And we got to the radio station. Does anyone ever go to radio stations anymore? The memories I have. So we got to the radio station, and he competed, and he was with the team from Mount St. Charles Academy, and their team won. They were a group of very, very intellectual, smart, and smart-ass, I might add. I mean, when it came time for burning the bras, they did that also. And Timothy Leary. Oh, I could tell you so many stories, but I don't have time for that, and you probably aren't interested. And if you are, let me know, and I'll tell you more about what he did, okay? He was one for sending me cards for so many occasions, and they were always different. They were really weird. Some were not weird. Some were very serious. Some were very loving. Some were extremely comical. And he would send a card like that, and then I'd go to open it, and I couldn't open it from the side because I had to do this. And I'd say, oh my gosh, what is this now? Oh, wow. Oh, and that was for my birthday. Okay. And then here's another one. Mom, look at that. For all the little things you do. Mom, for all the little things you do. Now keep in mind, he's a grown-up man sending me these cards. He had as much fun sending them to me as I had receiving them. And then I would have to play with them and open them up, and they seemed to be going forever and ever and ever. And then I would open it, and there would be something really cute to look at. And it was almost as though he was coming to me in person. You know, this big guy laughing, smiling, and making me laugh. And so I could almost hold him in my arms, as old as he was. But he's still my child. Interesting how we, as we get older, we still think of our children, regardless of how old they are, that they're still young. And they're our children. I have two sons now. One is 61 years old, and the other is 65. And when we get together, I know they are adults, and we treat each other as adults, and yet we're still treating each other like mommy and children. And it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's a good situation. I love my boys, and every mother should have sons like mine. They fulfill my life. They're what keeps me going. They and my children, I mean my children's children, and their children, who are my great grandchildren, which is again why I want to be there and to see them grow older. I want to see them enjoy life as we're enjoying life, and knowing that every day is special. So make it special. I don't want to be sad, and I'm not sad when I think of Todd. I'm not sad when I think of Terry, my daughter, who drowned when she was 23. I had her and had him for a number of years, and they were loving years. And you know, what's to last forever? So I want to make the most of what I've got. I enjoy the two sons I have now, and I love them dearly, and I know one day we won't be together again physically,